Hi, I'm Mark Karten. I'm the broker owner of Karten Real Estate Services in Queens, New York, and I want to talk to you about a subject that is probably just as important as listing and selling your home, getting that equity released so that you can go on to your next adventure. It's the problem, the challenge of being safe legally so that once the sale is completed and you move on, that you are not at any legal risk or exposure of being sued by the new owner, by your buyer, for misrepresentation during the sale of your property. So let's lay out the foundation. This only applies to single, two, three, and four family homes. So no condos, no co-ops, no five-family homes or more than that. It doesn't apply to new construction. It doesn't apply to homes being sold in probate or foreclosure or bankruptcy or uh, divorce. So let me preface, I am not a real estate attorney. I'm a real estate broker. So I am going to talk to you about this subject to educate you and inform you from the real estate perspective, not the real estate law perspective overall. Okay. So I'm not giving legal advice. I am telling you as a broker what when I list your home, I'm going to ask you to fill out as far as forms are concerned and disclosures are concerned. You will have a real estate attorney who is going to write up the purchase agreement that will be sent to the buyer's attorney for review of the terms that we come to an agreement when we initially have a buyer that we present to you. So the attorney representing you is really the source for this information as to how you proceed, because there's two different ways. So let me talk to you about specifically what this is. So one of the forms is called a property condition disclosure statement. Now, in New York, this came into law in 2002. Before that, it was called the caveat emptor. That's Latin for let the buyer beware. And so it was the buyer's duty to do their own inspections and find out everything that they reasonably could about the property to see whether they wanted to move forward in the transaction. However, if there was something about the property, your property that you're selling, that wasn't readily available during inspection, that wasn't seen or couldn't be seen, it's your responsibility and duty to disclose that. So with your house in particular, if there is something that is of concern that you think is going to ruin the sale, that the buyer won't want to buy it if they knew, please talk to your attorney first on how to proceed, because I'm going to give you some insight that selling your house as is, that statement in general is telling the buyer, I'm not making any repairs. I'm selling it as is. All right, that's as is. But with this form, your attorney may guide you not to fill out the form and to pay the buyer at close $500. That's the law. You fill out the form, and if you don't provide the form to the buyer, you can pay $500 at closing. However, the payment of $500 and not filling out the form does not relieve you of disclosing material information that could affect the sale and the buyer's decision. And if they find out after closing, they have recourse to come back to be reimbursed for the expenses that they incurred for that unknown defect. Okay, let me read a couple of different insightful directions, which is just reiterating the same thing that I just said. The credit does not override the seller's responsibility under caveat emptor to disclose latent defects known to seller, known to you, that cannot be discovered by reasonable inspection. Sellers with a fiduciary duty or relationship of trust are also obligated to disclose not just latent defects, but also known defects. So obviously, you can't disclose what you don't know. If you don't know, how could you disclose it? But if you do know it, you are supposed to disclose it. And as a broker, I am going to ask you either to fill out the form or to ask your attorney, should you fill out the form or pay the $500? It's your duty to tell what you know is wrong. Let me go a little bit further. Let's say we list your home and the buyer does an inspection. And during that inspection, things come out that you didn't know about, but now you do, because the buyer's going to say, I'd like these things fixed. And you could say, I don't want to fix those things. And they say, we're not going forward with the purchase. And so the sale does not go through. Now you put the home back on the market. Now you know about these things. Legally, those things need to be disclosed to the new buyer, prospective buyer. And your best coverage from a real estate broker perspective is to provide all future prospective buyers with that property inspection report. Because now you're saying, this is what I know. This is what was learned. This is what I know. Proceed accordingly. Okay? So disclose, disclose, disclose. Now you are in a better position to share the knowledge that you're aware of. Okay? So that is the essence of this, is to utilize your team who's representing you. So the broker or agent is going to share the knowledge that you provide. If you're withholding information and it comes out later, that is the potential for a lawsuit. Now, agents, brokers usually carry what's called errors and omissions insurance. That is to protect them against something that they did accidentally. If they have knowledge of something that's wrong with the property and they don't disclose it, then that insurance is not going to cover them and they are liable financially. So it's not ethical and it's not a position that any broker or agent wants to be in. So if that same situation, the report came out and you said, I don't want future buyers to know about this, let them do their own inspection and maybe it won't come up this time. If that was me, I would not be able to list your home because it's not ethical. And if you were the buyer, you wouldn't want to be in that position either. So this is ethically and legally, and honesty is the best policy. But again, from a legal standpoint, I'm going to refer you to your real estate attorney. I am trying to give you insight on the best way to move forward without any hiccups, delays, or future liability on your part. I hope that's helpful. If you have any questions about your specific property, I'm always here to answer them. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day.